I'm Davey Wavy, creator of Himeros.tv, and I'm joined by my friend Chad. And today we are talking about the closet, closeted sex, and secret desires. Are you ready to dish, girl?
I'm so ready.
Himeros Live is sponsored by Himeros.tv, the place to have hotter sex. Thank you. That was a little exclamation on that.
Himeros TV.
Created by Davey Wavy, we upload weekly erotic videos to help you have the best gay sex of your life. And then we discuss them on this podcast. Go to himeros.tv/pod to save 20% off your membership, which is as little as 40 cents per day. You'll get instant access to our erotic library of cock-throbbing videos to inspire deeper connections, sexual exploration, and increased pleasure. Visit himeros.tv/pod to save 20%. Hey, Chad.
Hey.
So I wanted to have you on here today because we're talking about the closet. And I mean, this week's video is literally titled In the Closet. And I brought you on here because you're essentially fresh out of the closet.
Yeah, new to the out world.
You still smell like mothballs. So you came out what, a few months ago?
Yeah, late August.
Why did you finally? You get to get a little close to the mic. We're sharing a microphone today. We're on a budget here.
Close and personal.
So, why did you finally decide to come out?
I thought it was finally time to stop tiptoeing around what everyone else thought about being gay, I guess, and having to sort of hide it all. I even put the gay apps like Grindr. I used to hide it behind a bunch of other apps, so to speak, and just stuff like that, where I felt like it was finally time to come out and be who I am.
When you came out in August, were you already out to your friends?
Yeah. Most of my close friends knew, just based off of past experiences, so they all knew. But it was really my family, and people that I wasn't really around every day at school.
Yeah. Okay. And so how did you decide to come out? Was there a technique? Was there a method?
Yeah. So I took my mom on a trip to Iceland, and kind of muddled over.
You took her to Iceland?
I took her to Iceland.
You paid for her and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
It was a very big trip for many, many reasons. But I kind of waited to have sort of all these bonding experiences to show her that, nothing really changed perception wise when I came out. And I'm still the same person I was. The only thing is now she knows a little bit more about me, the real me. So you did all this bonding over the course of this trip, and did you save it for the very end? The very last night, we were in a hot springs hot tub. So I broke the news.
Walk me through the play-by-play. So you're sitting in the hot spring. Were you nervous?
Oh my God, I was shaking. My heart was beating. I kept on counting to 10 and being all right, at 10, I'm gonna tell her. But then I kept on pushing it off.
Did she know that you had something to say?
Yeah, she could tell. And it was sort of we were just talking about how great all of my siblings are, and how each one of us are very, very, very different from each other.
You really led that conversation.
Yeah, and right in that I was well, some of us are more different than others. And she's Tyler's very, very manly and masculine. And I was yeah, but even from my brother, I'm still very different from him. And she's yeah, you're very creative. And I was I'm also gay. And just saying the word gay was just I could hear my heart through my eardrums. It was so so pounding.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I still remember when I came out to my mom, I couldn't say the word gay. I couldn't, it was all the really spit evaporated from my mouth. If I tried to say gay, it would have just come out as
Well, thank God we were in a hot springs, because I was sweating.
So you actually said, I'm gay.
I'm gay, yeah.
And how did she react?
She said, I know.
How did she know?
I don't know if she actually did know per se. She said that her and my dad had a talk about it a while, where they were looking back on old pictures of me, and I was had this sort of feminine quality to it, very
yeah,
kind of hey girl kind of poses. But you know, they kind of were just like, we'll let him explore. And so I think instead of her being like, I know, I think it was more like I could see it coming.
Okay.
And I guess me personally, like, I guess I was the last to know is how she kind of like pictured it as, or portrayed it as.
That you were the last to know?
Yeah.
Like, so everyone else kind of was
new. Yeah.
It.
But like, even like a lot of my friends that I told at school, like they were like, whoa, like, really? Are you sure about that? You sure you like boys?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you afraid that your family might not like accept you?
Definitely. I was born Christian, subcategory of Catholic. My grandparents are very devout Catholics, so we were never really surrounded by gay people at all. And so I wasn't sure exactly how to take it. And our church wasn't the most liberal when it came to that sort of topic. So it was definitely something I muddled through in my head a lot.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing is you're coming out in 2018
yeah.
versus like, 1968 or something.
Yeah,
or
very different time.
Even
earlier.
Yeah. My family's also Catholic, and I came out like much earlier. I was 17, and like it was I think it was really hard for them. Definitely. And it was, to this day, it's like one of the hardest things I ever had to do was like come out to them. How do you feel now though?
It's very liberating. My mom I've always considered her like one of my closest friends, but now she's like my best friend, and I can actually tell her everything, like down to a T, and there's no sort of like sense of secret between us. It's very open, which I love.
Yeah, that one of the things that I think, one of the privileges of coming out of the closet is that you no longer have to carry the weight of those secrets.
Yeah, my back was really hurting after a while.
And you don't really realize how heavy they are until you shed them. Definitely. And you're like, oh, fuck.
So free.
Like, I feel like I have wings. Like, I feel like I could just like float away. So, all right. So this week's video is titled In the Closet. You just watched it.
Yep. Yeah. Very, very good.
It features Logan Cross getting absolutely plowed. In my notes here, I'm getting fucked by Kate Maddox, but that's like an understatement. That's like,
that is an understatement. It was very, very hot scenes.
Yeah, that's like saying the Mona Lisa is a painting. Like he gets plowed by Kate Maddox, and Diego Sanz is literally watching from inside the closet. So the idea with this video is that living in the closet has taught gay guys to keep their desires hidden. And not just from, your mom and other people, but also sometimes from ourselves. Like you didn't even know you were gay till how old were you?
Probably I didn't really start knowing till like freshman year of college. So about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. So the idea is though that by like owning those desires to be secretive and practicing them in a healing way, it can really turn into some explosively hot sex, which this video demonstrates. So when you were in the closet, did you have to be secretive about like what you wanted? You said you kept your apps hidden like on your phone.
No, definitely secretive.
Did you find yourself like lying to your parents about like where you were going, like
all the time?
If you're going over like some cute guy's house.
Yeah. I'd always be like, I'm just going out with friends, or like I would lie about like friends that they knew that they wouldn't have to like think twice about.
Oh my God. Yeah. I remember the sneaking around. So my first boyfriend, I was 13 and he was 11.
Ooh. Very young.
Started young. And we met online, and so this was like, oh my God, this was a different world, right? Yeah. So we would, I guess like, I don't know if like digital cameras hadn't been invented yet or something, but we would like mail each other pictures of ourselves, like
really
in the mail. And I was so afraid. So we would send them to like, I would mail them to his friend's house, and he would mail them to my friend's house.
They would swap.
And then we would like exchange. And we would, eventually I got like a little, like really basic webcam.
Yeah.
And we were like so into it. So we would like, I'd want the webcam to be like on me while I was sleeping so he could watch.
It's like so cute.
Is it cute or creepy?
A little bit of both.
But then my mom like picked up the phone in the middle of the night because it was dial-up, and she was like, "Why are you on the internet at like 2 a.m?" I'm like, "Oh, I forgot to sign off." Like clearly he was like watching me sleep. And then when I was 17, I took an Amtrak train I told my mom I was going to New York City with friends for the day, and I like took a train by myself to finally meet him in person in New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, talk about like being secretive.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
adventure.
I was like auditioning to be like in the CIA. Like, I could have been some like undercover agent.
Detective Davey.
Yeah. So when you watch this video, so the setup is Cade and Logan are having sex on the bed. The plowing is happening, and Diego is in the closet and he's spying on them. And it's intense because you keep thinking like, oh, like maybe he's gonna get caught. What if they see him? And by the way, I should say this about the fucking. So the feedback that we've been getting from people for our content is they want to see more explicitness. Like they want to see like the penetration. They want to see the cum.
The intensity of it all.
Yeah. Well, this is pretty much like as explicit as it can get. Like it's hot watching Logan get fucked. He's also really flexible.
Mm-hmm.
He does this like back arch thing, which I find really enjoyable.
Very beautiful.
You guys can, by the way, you can watch a free preview on himeros.tv. If you just go there, it's the video titled obviously In the Closet. So even if you don't sign up, you can still at least get a sense of what we're talking about, and you can see that fat ass dick going in there too. Like
so big. So big.
So, and then after the guys fuck, there's a great cum shot. And so anyway, what I'm trying to get to is the video ends with the three guys. This is spoiler alert, but the video ends with three guys in bed together. So, Diego's no longer in the closet. Now, like the closing shot is the three of them cuddling, right? So it kind of begs the question, well, what's going on there? Like, like why is he suddenly
in the middle of it all, in the midst of it?
Right. Do you have any theories?
No. Ooh.
Do you know what the term cuckold means?
No, I don't.
See, you're gonna get educated.
New gay, getting learned.
So the word is derived from the cuckoo bird, who is known for laying its eggs in the nest of other birds. But instead of laying eggs in the nest of another bird, in this instance, it's when one partner watches the other partner have sex and derives pleasure from it. So, I mean, like the pleasure could be like it could be like a torture thing, like a BDSM thing. Like it's difficult for me to watch my partner get fucked, and so that's what makes it pleasurable. Or like it can just be pleasurable to watch your partner have like a really sexy experience. Yeah. So the way I interpret this video, and I have a little insight because I produced this and I worked with sex coach Finn Deerhart on the video concept, is that this is actually like a cuckold situation. Okay. So Diego is being cucked in the closet, and his lover is either Logan or Cade, and he's being cuckolded to watch his partner have sex with another person. My question to you is, do you find that hot? So like say that you thought, for example, like just hypothetically, if you thought that I was cute, right? Like, would it be fun for you to watch someone fuck me, or would you find that like too much?
I think it would definitely be hot. I definitely think I could watch it. I think it would depend on the emotional connection involved, but
so if you had an emotional connection, it'd be better or worse? I
don't know. I guess it would depend on the person, but I think like if I had like a really deep emotional connection with someone, I tend to get very envious of jealous of something. So I don't know how long I could last back in the closet.
So are you trying to say that we do or we don't have a deep emotional connection?
Oh, we have a deep emotional connection for sure.
So yeah, I think I love it. Like, I think it's the hottest thing. I mean, we don't really have to get into details here, but I think it's like, okay, fine, I'll get into details.
Get specific on me.
So in my last relationship, it was an open relationship. And towards the end of the relationship, we really kind of like figured out our formula, I think. And we were, at least I would hear about the sex that he was having. He wasn't too interested in hearing about the sex that I was having. And I used to get off on it like so intensely. Like there was this couple that he would like hook up with and get like double penetrated by, and like he had this tight little ass, and I just used to think with these like two big dicks like stretching that hole, and
it's
then
imaginative porn.
Oh my god, like it was so hot. And I think that was when like the realization first kind of came to me. But so you're a jealous person?
Yeah, I tend to get envious of certain things.
So like if you like someone, then you start to get like,
yeah, I will get really attached, and like it also depends on like the level of attention and detail going into it.
I blame Disney.
You blame Disney?
Yeah.
How so?
Oh my god, this should be like a topic for a whole nother. I'm adjusting my position here because I'm getting fired up thinking about it. Because I think Disney, like, it portrays this very like narrow like definition of love that like that it's, to me, it's like, if I love someone, I want that person to be happy, and sometimes them being happy like is not with me, right? And like, so I'm never afraid if I'm with someone that my partner is going to leave me, because if I want them to be happy, like it would devastate me, but like I think that's what real love is. And if you say like, I'm jealous that this person is going to fall in love with someone else, that's really about you.
Yeah,
definitely. And that's not what love is.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, the media that we watch, like TV shows, movies, like everything would have us believe that like you should be afraid of losing the people that you love. And I think that's like a very shallow definition of love.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
So anyway, I think if you can take jealousy out of the equation, and like you can really just look at it from the perspective of, God, I really love this person, or I really like this person, and like how fucking hot is it to see their eyes roll back in pleasure? Like even if it's not me who's doing it, like it just gets my
gears going,
my blood. Yeah,
girls getting fired up.
But we do need to have a whole episode about Disney, and oh my god, how fucking problematic
they are. Like
the Little Mermaid, who like, do you ever see that movie?
Yeah, it's a Little Mermaid.
Oh my god. And he's like, she literally she mutilates her body
to fit his perfect definition of a girl.
Yeah, and he only loves her because she can't speak.
Yeah. Like, she's literally a mute.
Yeah. Oh my god. And Sleeping Beauty getting like date raped. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. There's no consent. So, all right. So the point of this video, I think, is that even though as gay people, we may have been taught to keep our desires hidden, or conditioned to keep our desires hidden, whether it's fetishes or kinks or cuckolding or glory holes or whatever it is you can really bring them into the light and practice them in a fun and healing way, as demonstrated by Diego, Logan, and Cade. So at the end of each podcast, we like to do a series of questions. Okay. So if you guys have questions at home, by the way, you can send them to Davey. It's DAVEY at daveywavy.tv. DAVEYWAVEY.tv. People can't spell it. They just can't. So anyway, send them along. Question number 1. Last week, you guys talked about cross-generational relationships. So like age differences in relationships. So this person continues, I really don't understand why so many guys are into older or younger dudes. I mean, I just find that I have a lot more in common with people my age. So what's the big deal? Yeah, I think if someone is your age, there's more cultural and like pop culture references that you'll get. But to me, that's not necessarily like a requirement for like the foundation of a relationship. I also think it's like, I don't want to date myself.
Yeah.
I enjoy dating people that have different experiences and references. And so if I have less in common with someone, to me, that's not necessarily a reason to not explore that. Yeah. And second, I mean, for me, I like dating younger guys because I enjoy being the dad. Like I like the dynamic, like the nurturing or like mentoring dynamic that can happen. It's just, I guess, like how I'm wired. And I also think for younger guys, like this is a part that I definitely get, which is like, I think younger guys get a lot out of dating someone that's older and maybe wiser or more experienced, someone with stability, you know, more resources. I live in Palm Springs, and like probably the average age here is like mid 60s, maybe for guys, 70.
Older dynamic.
Yeah. And I really love the guys that live here. For me, I wish I could kind of connect the dots and like date some of the amazing older guys that I've met here. Like I totally get it, but I get it psychologically.
Yeah.
I just haven't been able to be like,
The
okay,
other side of it.
Just sexually to like connect the dots.
Yeah.
But, what are your thoughts about?
I definitely lean towards older guys. I think, yeah, definitely like guys with experience and maturity. Even if I'm not like at that same level, there's something like very genuine about people who have experienced the world and had their own sort of experiences shape them. I think like a lot can be said about the people that they've come in contact with and like the people they choose to surround themselves with too.
Yeah. So 3 cheers for daddy-son relationships.
Hoorah.
All right. Question number 2. I want to come out of the closet, but I'm afraid that people are going to see me differently. What advice do you have? This is a good question for you. And I think, I mean, you said this earlier that when someone comes out to you, they're still the same person. You just know a little bit more about them.
Yeah, it's a lot about like you get in your head about how people will think of you and like perceive you. But in the end, like you want to be as genuine as you can be, and being as genuine as you can be, you love who you love, and you should really embrace that side of you and really like showcase it. And the people who love you, like they'll love you for who you are. Like they just want you to be you. Like same like the situation with my mom. She just wanted me to be happy and like be me.
Yeah. Having said that, there are times when people that are close to you like aren't going to be as accepting as your mom is.
Definitely.
And like I think if the question is, do I be is it better for me to be a fake version of myself to make those people happy, or a real version of myself, even if it does upset some people and if some people do fall off? Like you only get one life.
Yeah, nothing's gonna make you happier than being your authentic self, and it's really should be your happiness over like pleasing everyone else.
Yeah. And I think if you're like privileged enough to live in the United States or be in an area that's more progressive and you don't have to worry about like your safety or the implications of that. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Question number 3. I'm sure you get this question a lot, but I'm bored with my current sex life. What can I do to make things more interesting?
Ooh.
So
lots of ideas on this.
Yeah. To me, it's like sex is like the most interesting thing.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, there's a lot of reasons probably for this, but like the porn that we watch, I think especially, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to make Himeros TV, is so predictable and it's so in the box. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that changes is that like it's in a different hotel room with a different set of guys that look exactly actors. The same.
Same cut built models.
Yeah, doing the same sequence of events. It goes from kissing to blowing to rimming to fucking to coming to the end. Like, yeah, and if you emulate that in your own life, of course it's going to be fucking boring.
Yeah,
you know,
you need to spice it up in there.
And it's really not that hard to. I mean, we do a different podcast each week about a different aspect of gay sex. Like there's a lot to explore and discover. So I get it. I get where you're coming from. I would say all of that is very abstract. And if you want something very tangible, I would say the easiest thing you can do is take like a week or a couple weeks to explore the different senses that you have as it pertains to sex. So one night you and your partner or hook up or whatever. Like I think if someone said this to me on Grindr, I'd be like, oh wow, this seems really fun. Like maybe one night you just focus on the sense of touch. So imagine you get like blindfolded and your partner explores all the fun ways that they can touch your body and with all the different things that they can touch
it with. Yeah.
Right. So, for example, he could use his fingers, his tongue. It could be light. It could be hard touch. He could use a feather. He could tickle you. He could pinch you. He could pull you. He could slap you. And I mean, that's just like it. You can take an ice cube over
millions
your body.
Of ways
you
can go about it.
And that's just touch.
Yeah, and taking away like the sight of it all and just focusing on like the feeling of the touch and like the intensity of it really draws from it.
You could even do like noise canceling headphones or put like white noise on in your ears so that you can't hear. So you're really like limiting it just to that sense.
That singular sense.
That sense. And then the next time you could focus on scent and you could do like exploring different smells, armpits, underwear, pheromones, vanilla, fragrances, and kind of cycle through the different senses that you have. Another suggestion I would have is tantric games. We have one on the website called Voicing Your Desires. And in it, you sit across from your partner and you ask for what you want. Yeah. And so you'd say, like, I want you to, I want you to kiss me for a minute. And then your partner does it. And it also is good. It helps you kind of discover your own boundaries. So someone might suggest something like, I might say to you, like, I want you to lick my feet. And you might be like, you know what? Like, that sounds really hot, but like, that's a no for me. But instead, I'm going to lick your nipples. Okay. And so, because your yes is only as strong as your no. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. So that's a really fun game. And after the first like 5 times going back and forth, you have to start getting really, like, you really have to start looking inside yourself for what you want. What you really want. That's a good way of discovering what your partner is into, necessarily creating like this open dialogue between it. Yeah. And a lot of times your partner is into stuff, but doesn't feel like they can express that to you. Yeah. And like, you'll see people who, when they're in a relationship, will be very vanilla, but then they'll like create this Craigslist post at night about all the freaky shit that they actually want to do. So yeah, I mean, and we don't really do a good job of looking into ourselves and like asking for the things that we want, whether it comes to sex or life in general. So that's a fun game. Yeah, sounds fun. We have a whole category on the site actually that's sex games that people can play. Ooh, gotta check that out for sure. So cool. If you guys have any questions, send them to Davey at daveywavy.tv. So next week is a really special week. Ooh, why? Why is that? Because we are talking about a video called The End of Ageism. Ooh. So we're gonna have a special guest, Brad Amberhart. This video is going to, I don't know if the world is ready for this. Some next level stuff right here. Yeah, TBH, I don't know if the world is ready. Well, they better get ready. Yeah. You have, check my calendar. You have, what's today? Okay, you have a couple days. To comes prepare. Out on Monday. And one of the models in it is 84 years old. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I saw your mouth. Yeah, the drop. Oh. 84 years old. And it's not, the video isn't saying that ageism is dead, but it's kind of presenting like a hope and a dream and an intention. It's really, it's gonna rock people's world. So I'm excited for it. Yeah. It's and if you guys said you want to come, girl, there's a lot of come. There's a lot of come. So that's next week. In the meantime, make sure you join us on Himeros.tv so that you can see all these videos that we're talking about and you can support this work. And you get a 20% discount if you join through Himeros.tv/pod. It's Himeros.tv/pod. Check it out. Hey, Chad, what's your Instagram in case people want to see that cute face and they want to see these cute cheeks? Instagram is Chad, CHAD_Remy, REMY. Check it out. Yeah, you do a really good Instagram. I love Instagram. You curate that shit. Yeah, it's really, really fun. Check it out. Cool. All right. Well, thanks so much for being here. Yeah, thanks for having me. This is fun. Thanks for everyone at home for listening. And as always, more to come.